Bray Wyatt just reacted to a return theory, so we'll see what that's all about. We'll also check out the latest WWE Draft news, Johnny Gargano, and more. Let's start things off with a massive update regarding the 2022 WWE Draft. As everyone knows, the beginning of fall has always been the usual time frame for the WWE Draft for several years now. Every time September approaches, the hype for the draft always starts intensifying. Fans start discussing what superstars will change brands, what tag teams could split up, what call-ups we'll see, who will be the number one pick, and all these other interesting elements that make the WWE Draft so much fun. So, the same thing starts happening this year. We're approaching September, and the draft conversation started picking back up. What makes this upcoming draft even more intriguing is the obvious fact that it will be the first draft under Triple H's full control. Fans are curious to see what kind of job Triple H does of splitting his roster amongst the two brands. Triple H has stated several times in recent interviews that he's bringing back so many stars because he wants to add depth back to the roster. So fans are really interested to see how he'll distribute all this talent that he now has on the roster and what kind of job he does with it. Fightful previously reported that the draft was reportedly set to immediately take place after Clash at the Castle, starting with September 5th and September 9th. Superstars from both brands were set to appear on these shows for the draft. But a new report claims that USA Network informed everyone that the draft is not taking place anytime in the immediate future. The new rumored date for the draft is allegedly sometime right after WrestleMania 39. And that seems realistic as well. There was a time a few years ago where WWE didn't do a full-blown draft. They did a mini version called the Superstar Shakeup. The shakeup had pretty much been the same concept behind it. Some superstars would change brands, while others stayed on the brand that they were already on. And for a few years, the WWE went with the shakeup instead of the draft. Those shakeups usually happened right after WrestleMania season. It's unfortunate that the draft is no longer coming up in the next few weeks, but a draft after WrestleMania season doesn't sound like the worst idea at all. WrestleMania is like WWE's Super Bowl. It's a big climactic event for all their biggest storylines. A place where you see some of the biggest matches and stories you'll see all year long. So it does make sense to have that big climax event of the WWE season, and then follow it up with some fresh changes to the rosters during the draft. That'll keep things fresh and exciting. Although WrestleMania season is the most exciting time of the year, things do usually tend to naturally settle down immediately after WrestleMania. The big part-timers are gone, special appearances are over, and it's just back to the usual norm after WrestleMania. But hitting us with a draft right after WrestleMania will most likely keep that buzz going and make that post-WrestleMania season very interesting. So when it comes to the next WWE Draft, it looks like everything is up in the air. If we don't see it sometime in September or October, chances are that they'll most likely hold it after WrestleMania season. Another rumored return came true this week with the return of Johnny Gargano. Johnny's name has been in reports and was rumored for a WWE return for several weeks. There was even some buzz that Johnny would originally make his return in his hometown of Cleveland during Raw a few weeks ago, but it looks like WWE held off on that date for his return because it was just too obvious. Everyone was expecting it to happen. So they held off and made Johnny's return at an unexpected surprise during the Raw episode in Toronto, Canada. Johnny will be a part of Raw going forward. He has a lot of history with Theory, and fans will most definitely like to see him cross paths again with Ciampa as well. So Johnny's name is another name checked off the rumored return list. The other name that continues to be talked about by fans daily is Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt hasn't been fully confirmed by any reports. It's mostly the fans that just keep talking about him, and they feel like it just has to happen. Fans feel like Triple H is bringing back all these released talents, former NXT talents, talents that he felt like were wronged by WWE and so on. Then it just makes sense for him to try to get Bray Wyatt, a former WWE World Champion, top merchandise seller, and popular name. Bray Wyatt has been fully out of the ring and out of the public eye for well over a year now, yet his name is still generating buzz and excitement. So that's why fans feel like it's a no-brainer that Bray has to be on Triple H's list. Bray Wyatt has also been having fun and jumping in on all the fan discussion and theories surrounding the likelihood of his WWE return. A WWE fan on Twitter went viral after they took a long message that Bray Wyatt posted about wrestling a while ago and turned the paragraph sideways. When you turn the paragraph of Bray Wyatt's tweet sideways, it spells out WWE, and everyone immediately thought the same thing. This was a bit of a reach. But what made everything interesting again was that Bray Wyatt himself did like the fan's tweet that pointed out that these paragraphs spelt out WWE. It looks like Bray Wyatt just thought it was a cool coincidence and decided to acknowledge the fans' finding. But when Bray Wyatt first posted this message a few weeks ago, fans were inspecting and breaking down every single line for hidden messages. It got to the point where Bray Wyatt even responded to a fan that criticized the message for not being that cryptic enough. Bray said that it wasn't meant to be cryptic or have any hidden meanings. It was just a feeling he had about pro wrestling that he wanted to share. So there was never a hidden message in that passage by Bray Wyatt. He was just complimenting everything that the pro wrestling industry has accomplished. But he still reacted to that fan's theory and gave it a like. When it comes to Bray Wyatt's actual WWE return, no real information is out there besides the speculation from the fans. One of the most popular guesses from the fans is that if we're going to see a Bray Wyatt return anytime soon, that Clash at the Castle would be the perfect ideal spot for him to come out and interfere with whoever his target may be. But similar to the Johnny Gargano and the Cleveland return idea, maybe WWE holds off on Bray at Clash because it's too expected at this point. It's a really tricky situation, but someone as big as Bray Wyatt can't come back on any random episode of Raw or SmackDown. If he's ever going to return to WWE, it has to be on a platform like Clash at the Castle, Royal Rumble, or any other event on that massive caliber. The second biggest question about Bray Wyatt's return is obviously about what persona we will see him in. Some fans are hoping to see The Fiend get another shot. Some fans are hoping to see something brand new from Bray Wyatt. So if he does return to WWE, those are the two biggest questions to ask. Where will he return at, and what persona will he have? Some fans think that Bray could be with Dexter. Some thinks he's with Karrion Kross. Some think he's on his own and coming for Roman Reigns. So we'll just have to continue waiting and see what happens there for Bray Wyatt's return. But what are your thoughts on all of today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.